My name is George Seglin. I'm the mayor from the town of Lingle. I'm also a director for Region 1 for WAM. In order for the government to be effective, there must be a foundation of trust. No city council can function well without the consent and trust of those being governed. And that brings us to discussion of ethics and conflict of interest. Ethics is the development of standards of human conduct. High ethical standards are critical to a local government's credibility with the public. Though impossible to legislate, there are many ways that an organization can encourage and nurture ethical values. A conflict of interest is a set of circumstances that creates a risk to your professional judgment or actions, potentially influencing the greater good with what you stand to gain from a decision. The conflict in a conflict of interest exists if the circumstances are reasonably believed on the basis of past experience and objective evidence to create a risk that decisions may be unduly influenced by secondary interest. Other terms to keep in mind include legal, ethical, and moral. Legal is the minimum standard. It provides the outer boundaries of conduct or what you can and can't do. Ethical is a set of behavior standards for everyone who works in the organization. Moral is guided by personal principles, values, and virtues. This is the highest personal standard. There is a difference between legal and ethical. If an attorney says it's okay, it still could be unethical. In Wyoming, ethics and conflict of interest provisions for government officials is subject to state statutory provisions. Statutory provisions are scattered throughout Wyoming state statutes, and it is important to understand that not all provisions apply to all local elected and appointed officials. Many municipal organizations have adopted specific ordinances or policies regulating the behavior of its local officials. Let's go over a few of these. Title VI applies to local elected officials and employees of local government. Title VI says if you accept a bribe and are found guilty of said bribe, the penalties are very steep. They are a felony charge, punishable by up to 10 years in prison and a fine. Title IX applies only to local elected officials, while Title 15 applies to elected officers and employees of the municipality. Wyoming State Statute 9-13-104 says that you cannot supervise or manage a family member. These are absolute, very broad prohibitions. Because a mayor cannot supervise or manage a family member, this creates potential issues in very small towns with limited populations. The mayor should delegate supervision in these cases. Wyoming State Statute 9-13-105 talks about the misuse of office. You cannot use public funds, time, personnel, facilities, or equipment for private benefit or the benefit of another unless that use is authorized. Essentially, you cannot use your position or title for private benefit. Wyoming State Statute 9-13-106 speaks to official decisions and votes of elected or appointed official. A public official employee shall not make or vote on an official decision if the official or employee has substantial financial interest in the matter under consideration. An elected official shall not vote or give money or any direct financial benefit to himself except for tax reductions affecting the general public. Wyoming State Statute 15-1-128 covers gifts given to the mayor, council members, and employees of the municipality. No one covered under these provisions may solicit or receive any pay, commission, money, or thing of value, or derive any benefit, profit, or advantage from any improvement, alteration, or repair. Violations can make a violator subject to removal from their position. 9-13-102 covers gifts and favors as well, but applies only to elected local government officials. The best practice is to have a no-gift policy in your municipality. Provisions found in Wyoming Statute 15-1-127 reference contractual conflicts of interest and apply to mayors and council members and their immediate families. They state you cannot receive any monetary or other economic benefit from any contract to which the municipality is a party. The best practice is to disclose any personal relationship in any instance where there could be the appearance of a conflict of interest. If the conflict is significant enough that a reasonable person would question whether you are acting in the public's best interest, consider disengaging from the process early and abstain from voting. After all, disclosure doesn't cure all conflicts of interest. When faced with a conflict of interest, remember the 4D strategy. Discern, disclose, disengage, and document it.